The federal government has given its initial response to calls for the creation of a national disability insurance scheme. It won't be cheap. The Productivity Commission says the scheme should cover everyone, regardless of how they were injured. Let's go to reporter George Roberts in Canberra. So, George, what's the Commission's final report recommending and how will it be funded?
Well, Ros, the Commission has labelled the current disability support system as fragmented, underfunded, unfair and inefficient. So it's recommending that a national scheme be put together, a pool of funds, if you like, similar to Medicare, that would provide disability insurance to all Australians, regardless of how they became disabled. Now, the current system is that the states pay about 2/3 of a total of $7 billion or more of funding for disability support. But the Commission says that that's fractured and doesn't provide enough choice for families and people with disabilities to choose what sort of services they need. So they're saying a national scheme is needed and that would provide support and more choice for people with disabilities. It also says to do it properly, a further $6.5 billion in funding is needed, and it's recommending that budget savings and possibly tax increases are used to pay for that scheme.
So what's been the government's response to that?
Well, the Prime Minister, Julia Gillard, says she agrees with the Productivity Commission that a national scheme is needed, but it won't happen quickly. Julia Gillard's only committing to what she calls the first steps towards a national disability insurance scheme. Initially, she'll be going to the state and territory leaders at COAG to get them on board. She's also suggesting setting up a committee, or announcing that she'll set up a committee and providing $10 million to work on some of the details. But there are 545 pages in this report that the government still needs to work through.
We will work through, we will review, we will analyse, we will respond to those recommendations over time. But we did want to get started. So today we are announcing how we're going to get started, and that is by the work with our state colleagues, but also through getting the foundation stones right that are needed for any national disability insurance scheme.
And how are people in the sector likely to react? Very briefly, George.
Well, many of the submissions spoke of heart-wrenching difficulties in dealing with the current system, of uncertainty, of not knowing how to get support and having to constantly prove that they even have disabilities. So a more streamlined system which gives choice to people and their carers will possibly or most likely be welcomed.
George, thank you.
Thank you.